was just thinking about the purpose of this meeting, and I think the best way to tell you about this purpose that I would like to share with you today is to tell you a story about some of the important issues that happen in Compartamos Banco, and then I'm going to explain why is this Gentera. Probably some of you are asking why the name is Gentera, and you read a case called about Compartamos Banco. So I will explain that in a minute. So let me tell you about this story, but first I would like you to put something that you can hold up for the rest of the talk, that you start thinking about what inspires you, and then what is your sense of purpose. So with these two questions, please hold, put it in hold, and what inspires you, and what is the sense of purpose you have in life. And let me tell you something about going back a little bit, the story of Compartamos in 1990. There was 4 young men that have a lot of dreams, trying to change the world, and they were just trying to figure out how to start doing that. And they study in Catholic schools, so they were just trying to put together their values, their philosophy, just put it together and do something just to change the world. 2 of them, you have already read it in the case, Carlos Labarte and Carlos Danel. The 3rd one was Jose Ignacio Avalos, and I was the 4th. I have the opportunity and the privilege to be there. So that's what I want to share, some things that I have lived and I have experienced in this process. About 1993, we were just researching about methodologies and different ways to work in the communities, something with food programs, another way with loans, and we were just searching. And we found that in Bangladesh, there was a great experience, Grameen Bank. Professor Yunus was there, and I have the opportunity to be there in a training program for 3 weeks, living in the communities, learning how to do that, learning a lot of things about solidarity groups and methodologies. And I have a very nice talk with him to understand one thing. It was scale, the size of the reach of the scale we were just thinking about, because Mexico have a population about more than 100 million in population. So we have to do something for millions to have an impact. So we were just discussing about scale. And in that trip, after that trip, we also have the opportunity to go to Calcutta and have an interview with Mother Teresa. And it was very, very nice to have that experience because I was just trying to understand a little bit more about these dreams, these things to change the world. And when I was there with her, I was just telling our plans. I said, Mother Teresa, look, we now have 300 clients. We have 300 clients at that time. And I said, in 5 years, we're going to reach 100,000 clients, and we are going to grow. We are going to change Mexico, and there we're going to change the world. She was very patient, looking at me directly to my eyes with the compassion, with love, and she just told me one thing. She said, it's not enough. And I say, well, Mother, probably you haven't understand what I want to say. 100,000 clients, then 1 million clients. We are going to be very huge, big, and we are going to help a lot. And again, she just looked through my eyes, and she said again, it's not enough. And I understand. I realized I have to be quiet, no more, not trying to argue anymore. And then that reflection, I understand that she was referring not to methodology, not to loans, not to microfinance. She was referring to some higher purpose, something that transcends or be transcendental, and go forward, not only to serve people with products and financial services. So with that, those two reflections, with both reflections in mind, we write our vision, our mission, trying to say that we want to reach a million people, clients, and then the way to do it. Probably the way to do it like Mother Teresa, probably. Serve, respect person, the dignity of the person, recognize the dignity of the person, and something like that. You know, we were just discussing how to put together, how to understand this issue. So at that moment, we were just had a great idea and a great purpose, but we didn't know how to start, how to do it. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the information here that I would like to mention. I'm going to be through these points. And I will say that Compartamos start with a why, very clear why. This is one of the important things that I would like to mention. We have clear the why. And some of our philosophy, I will say that it is not about what we do, it's about how we do it. This is something about our philosophy. And I will say that if you can read our purpose, it will say that very interesting that now we are a group of companies, the name is Gentera, whose purpose is to eradicate financial exclusion on the base of the pyramid in the Americas through microfinance services, credit, savings, insurance, methods of payment with financial education. And I will say that our purpose has guided us, has inspired us, and give us a reason to believe in something greater. Our beliefs, I'm not going to repeat it, but are very described in the letter to our peers that was written in April 2008. And I would like just to mention that the one that probably connects with the reflection of Mother Teresa is the one that says that challenge is too much larger than microfinance itself. So we have to look forward about it. Then some of our principles, I would like to say just only that we aim to achieve our goal by acting according to our personal ethics, based in the 6 values we have defined. These values, responsibility, passion, profitability, teamwork, service, and in the middle, in the center, we have put the person. That means that if we want to take care of business, that means we have to take care of others. And to put in the person in the middle, it's quite complicated. Sometimes when you have to take decisions, to make some decisions, we have to return to this diagram and to balance what we are going to do. I will mention something about our values also. Our values, we are committed to eradicate financial exclusion. We aspire to generate social, economic, and human value for people in 3 ways. But since our beginnings, we have been committed both with the person and the generation of value. And economic value is the consequence of generation of social and human value. So each one of these 3 we have already put together, and actions to respond, actions to measure, and actions to evaluate. And for social value, I would like to mention the definition of this, just to be sure that you have clear the definition I want to transmit. And social values is striving to offer inclusion opportunities for the greatest number of people in the shortest possible time, sharing these benefits with the communities we work. This responds to that reflection of scale, to be as large as we can in a country of millions of people, population. Then, for this, we have some results. We have reached right now 2.8 million clients. And then this number, 11.3 million have been donated to fund social responsibility, but just in the 3rd quarter of this year. I would like to mention that accumulating the last 7 years, We have donated to Fund Social more than 300 million pesos. And this responds to a policy that we have, that the board approved, that is that 2% of the net profits will be donated to this, no? to fund social responsibility projects. We have now 3.5 million active life insurance policies also. Then for the economic value, human values are trusting in people, in their ability to grow up and fulfill their potential to improve, and through financial education, use financial services for their advantage. This is very important about, let's see some figures, some numbers. We have almost reached 19,000 employees, and 2,700 employees have participated in voluntary activities. They are involved in different training about human values. Every quarter of the year, they have some training courses, and also each year, everyone in the company has to certificate in the ethic code, and they have to do it regularly. Then we have the economic value, the third one, creating innovative, efficient, and profitable business models from which everyone can benefit. This is like the resume of the three. And some of the results, our loan portfolio right now is 20,000 million. Our return on average equity is 25.7%. And Latin Finance recognized Compartamos as the best microfinance institution in the last year. And some other information I would like to share is that the Great Place to Work Institute in Mexico has recognized Compartamos the last 6 years in the first 3 places. So this is another indicator that is very important to mention, because we are very open to have some studies and evaluations about it, just to be sure that we are doing well. We have 500 branch offices, and now we are working also in Peru and Guatemala. No? We have 3 and 2 different more countries. Well, at this point, I would like to say that the challenge of this is to implement the things, the actions, the policies that are congruent with these values. So this is the great challenge to do this. And some information about our history and evolution, just to be clear about what happened in the process. In 1990, we were founded as an NGO. We started that at that point. Then in 2000, we transformed in a regulated and non-bank financial institution. In 2006, we transformed into a bank. And then in 2007, we have an IPO, initial public offering. 2008, we reached 1 million clients. And I don't know exactly what the synchronicity was there, because the day we reached 1 million clients was the birthday of Mother Teresa. I don't know if this has something to do, but the only thing that I was thinking with 1 million, I was very happy, but in my mind it was, it's not enough, it's not enough, and it's not enough. So I don't know what is going to happen when we reach 10 million clients, or I don't know. Then 2010, it was the constitution of Grupo Compartamos. In 2011, we reached 2 million clients. If you can see, we need like from 1990 to 2008 to reach 1 million, and then only in 3 years we have another million, because the structure, because the funding, because the different way we organize it ourselves. We start the international expansion. We go to Peru and Guatemala at that point. And then our foundation, Fundación Gentera, start operations. And then we have Just Us. This is a subsidiary. I'm going to explain a little bit, but starts operations at that point in 2011. Then in 2012, start Microfinance insurance company that is inside, also in the holding, that calls Aterna. And in 2013, we changed just, or Grupo Compartamos evolves to Gentera Group. And we reached 2.8 million clients and portfolio of 20 billion. This is like a figures just to understand the history and evolution that has changing. As you can see a little bit, just Gentera, the name Gentera, it responds of a lot of the things that we have lived, the origins, the philosophy, it's the colors, everything is like just returning to the origin, to the sense of purpose, no? Just trying to put together again in this holding and in this evolution, just to put together the origin of where we start 23 years ago. Well, I will say at this point that something very, very challenging has happened from the very beginning. When we give the first loan and we put an interest rate, because if not, it wasn't a loan, no? It will be a donation. When we put an interest rate from the very beginning, the day one, we have to live with that duality, with a challenge. And this challenge is defend a cause, this is the social mission, versus operate a company, that means profitability. And it's getting complicated when you have exponential growth. No? When you grow to be just 4 employees and then to 9,000 employees, trying to put together this, the person, the profitability. We have living with this duality since from the very beginning. No? And the structure right now of the holding is like this. You can see it. We have 3 different. Here, one of these is Compartamos Peru, Guatemala, and Mexico. And then we have the microfinance insurance. Then this Just Us, this is a non-bank corresponsal network that works that people can go there and make payments and do a lot of different kind of things, not to go to different banks. They can pay in different places with this network. And then we have Fundación Gentera. This is how the holding is right now. Some of our, just talking about, we are loyal to ourselves in that way, in this way. We have strong commitment with our purpose. We seek our investors to be aware of our business model. And we believe that market principles can help to solve social needs. So by this kind of reflections, we are just trying to put together again and again and again, because it's all the transformations that we have been through have a lot of challenges about the values, the sense of purpose, the origin. So we have to think about how we're going to be consistent when we reach 10 million clients. No? This is the next step, 10 million clients, and some other countries. So how we can continue with our mystic, our culture, our values, our purpose, and how we can put together all the tools, all the models that we have to do. And this is one of the initiatives of Fundación Gentera is working right now, is trying to figure out models that attends our clients in a different ways, in a different programs, with the kids, with social responsibility, and trying to play some different ways and models to serve our clients and to be consistent with our sense of purpose for the next years that we're going to grow so fast. No? And I think at this point, I will stop a little bit just to a time for questions, and probably with these questions we can go to the places you want to go. So I made my job just to put some numbers, or try to put it here. And if you want to ask some questions, welcome, and we'll try to answer them. So we can start with the questions. Huh?
You started out by talking about Muhammad Yunus and Mother Teresa. But it seems like your company has made some different decisions than they did in terms of how you set up your loan rates at a much higher rate than Mohammed Yuna did. And it also resulted in very large payoffs for a lot of the executives of the company. And I'm curious why the company felt the need to make that decision and how you see that fitting in with your stated purpose overall.
Okay. First, I will say that our nature or our vision is to reach as more people as we can in the shortest time. It's like one way to put it. And trying to do it in a commercial way. We think that if we want to be there offering services and products in the long term, there's no donation that can do it. No? Imagine our loan portfolio of more than 20 billion million with loans with a donation. We cannot grow. We cannot offer that services. I remember 23 years ago, there was some other NGOs that decided to do things like us. We were just working. We were colleagues. We were trying to put together, but we had different sense of purpose. Now they continue working. They are still there in the field. But one of them, we have 2.8 million clients. One of them with different sense of purpose that it's okay because they decide to do that. They have 25,000 clients, 25,000 clients in 23 years. I said, it's great because they decide to do this or to choose this kind of approach. So what I will say is it's kind of an impact or kind of a purpose of kind of visions that we have. So we have decided that we can have impact if we attend million clients because Mexico have more than 100 million in population. So it's like a logical, for us, like a logical reflection just to do, okay, we go that way. No? So it's something more like that. And just probably talking about setting our interest rates and that, I will mention that all depends about the methodology, the context, the country. No? You have to analyze the whole picture with that, because interest rate is only one piece of the whole the picture. I will mention something. Let's see. There's a story that made me a lot of sense about it. There's imagine this context. There's Mrs. Lupita, one of our clients in Oaxaca. She had with us like 11 years. That means that she has been with us paying every week. This is the methodology. The loans are for 4 months, and they have to pay weekly. So imagine if she has 11 years, something like that, she has been every single week just paying on time. And she was wondering about interest rates and different kind of questions. And she came to me and told me, okay, I have $500 in a loan. Why you just give it to me as a gift and that's it? No? Because, you know, the government and other, they are just giving donations. Why you don't do the same? And I say, okay, you're going to decide. I'm not. You are going to decide. I'm just going to tell you some information, and you're going to be the one who's going to decide. And I say, okay, if I charge you interest rate, after that, you will have an open line of credit, and you can ask me for 600, 700, whatever you want. You can have an insurance. You can have a saving account. You will have a program or scholarships for your sons. And there's something more important that probably is very intangible, that you have to pay attention to see it. That is, we have weekly meetings. In these weekly meetings about methodology, they are just together as a solidarity group. And in that group happens a lot of things. There are so many kids around that they are looking to their moms, how they save, how they pay, how they organize as a group, as a team. And the mind is changing. You know, in Mexico, we have to live a lot with the macho issue that the woman, you know, that it is not value. No? And that little boy is looking at their mom as a leader. He is respecting them as a woman. And when he grows up, he's going to change their mind about women. So going there are a lot of things happening there. Solidarity groups, savings, loans, and discipline, just to be on time in the meetings, because if not, you have to pay commission, et cetera, et cetera. There's so many things that are involved of this. So returning with Mrs. Lupita, I just said, okay, you can have these opportunities. I know that you will need the money today, and that's it. But just think about a little bit the future. What other things are involved, not only in an interest rate? It's a cultural issue. It's a higher purpose. I will say that loans is just the mean. It's not about transaction. It's about transformation of people, I will say. That's the different approach we have. And that's one thing that we choose, not to be just a transaction as a bank, to be an organization that make transformation in people. So it sounds like a very high purpose. But well, I am just talking about a lot of things different than the question, but sorry, but next question, please.
Hi, thanks for coming. I have a question. How do you manage your non-performing clients, like the clients that are not paying the loans? Okay.
Just about explain a little bit our methodology, just to get some familiarity with that. We deliver the loans in groups about 12, 13, 14, all depends in the social cohesion in the community, but let's say about 13 people in the group, and normally it's a way of market, are women. Why? Because this methodology requires that every week they have to be there in a meeting, and what we have learned in practice is that men, probably we need a bottle or domino just to be there, and if not, we are not. And women are there, are in their houses. They are just putting a micro enterprise in their house with the kids. And this methodology works very good, I will say, for the way of life for women. So regularly are 90% women. No? So we have these groups. They have a loan for 4 months. They have to pay every week. So this is like the easy way to explain. They receive the loan, and the group work as a collateral, because if they don't have anything as a collateral, they don't have a car or refrigerator or whatever to put as a proof of payment. No? So they need to work to be in a group that they are self-selected. They are the ones who choose them. They know each other from the community. They know who can be there, because if someone cannot pay, the rest of the group has to respond. That means this is the collateral. So sometimes some of them can be sick or whatever, and they try to do some activities for the community. They sell food or whatever, and they put together the payment. So this is one of the reasons to put the group. They decide the rules, they decide who are in the group or whatever. It's very important just to help them to choose correctly, because this is one of the successful keys for this methodology, that they can respond. And it's the way, because they don't have nothing to offer as a collateral. So being in a group is the way to access for a credit. So that's why our recovery payment rates is very high, because they do the job to choose who are they, to choose in what kind of business they invest. They are just looking around. We do not make a business analysis. We don't have a credit committee as a difference as a regular bank. So they are making all this function because they do it very well, better than any bank. No? They know each other from they were kids. They know if the money they are going to invest in the things they are saying. They know each other. They know if they're really sick or not. You know, and the group is very powerful. Just imagine that some of them don't want to pay. The rest of the group go to their home and start asking for the payment, shouting and whatever, and the kids in their school are, hey, your mom is not paying. You imagine all the pressure, community pressure that is involved. So the group, it's working as a collector of money also. No? So that's why we are working with that.
Strikes me that to live up to the mission, maybe you also need some measurement of quality of impact. And are the people who you're reaching measurably better off than they were before? Have you looked into that at all? Have you done any analysis of that? And if so, what were your results?
Well, something that is, we constantly try to understand the needs of our clients, just to be, because imagine these 2.8 million clients, they meet each other every week. They are there. And loan officers of us are in that meeting. So we have contact every week with 2.8 million clients. Every week we are there. So I will say that something very important that we have to do with that opportunity is to be very ethical in the way we offer products, so we design it. Because for us, it will be probably easy just to put what we can do. But probably they're going to be with the wrong product. No? So in this way, something that I would like to mention about it is that we have to design and to understand the clients with this every single meetings every week. Because this is I would say this is our opportunity, or not the interest rate as one, because this I know that it is the main issue. I would say that this is the one. This is the one. How many things we can do with our clients. We have the opportunity to see them every week. What kind of things we can offer, to know them very well, to understand their needs, and again, not just offering financial products. Probably we can offer some different things. I will mention probably in a very abstract way, but we can offer like hope, no? Or something to help them dream, or something like that, but in a way we can put it together with concrete actions. So I would say I will be focusing that, to understand our clients, to have a market intelligence, to be present, to be there. And that is one of the difference with competition and with some other companies, that we have the opportunity to be very close to our clients every week. No? Something like that. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what Comportamos has learned from the SKS experience in India, which experienced a similar trajectory of growth, but then came under significant scrutiny from government and causing a serious crisis in the company, and how Comportamos can mitigate against some of those risks?
When you mentioned serious crisis, would you explain a little bit more?
Sure, and basically with much lower interest rates, but perhaps more aggressive recovery tactics of non-performing borrowers, SKS, government basically began to publicly scrutinize those practices, causing borrowers not to repay. And I guess my question is around, the perceived, whether or not the interest rate is fair or not, the perception that it's high, does that create any political risk for the company, and how do you manage that? Okay,
well, we have already made like some kind of strategies about it. One of them is that we have in our holding, in our group right now, we have a specific area that is working with all of these issues to the external audiences, and trying to educate in some way, to give some information, some context, some data that they can put together, and they can work with that. I will say to the outside, we are trying to make a lot of effort, just trying to put the right context for the people that they can analyze and they can observe with the whole elements that they need for the analysis. This is one of the strategies we are doing. The other one is very, very practical also. We are doing some decisions, some strategies, just to trying to be more efficiency inside of the company, or trying to offer a plus or more things with the same or lower interest rate. We have been, through the years, we have been reducing the interest rates because of the volume, because of the efficiency, because of some lessons learned in the past. So this is one of the things we have there in the agenda and working there, but something to understand to be very clear with this issue is that the size of our loan, the average loan, is $500, and we have the same cost if you attend a 10,000 loan. No? So these costs, if you compare with the 500 loan, it looks very high. No? But if you compare with the 10,000, it looks like reduced. But we are just trying to put together and say, okay, the impact, if we can go to this place, but we have to say goodbye to this profile of customer, and we want to be there. This is the segment we want to attend. So there's a lot of things that we have to attend and respond. We know exactly, but with this volume that we have already right now, it is possible to do a lot of things in terms of interest rates. And probably as a leaders in this industry in Mexico, we are setting the parameters of the indicators. So we have to be very close with the governments, with the regulators, and the authorities, just to be sure that they understand the context, the efficiency rates, the methodology, and this is one of the strategies that we have to do a lot, and I think we are going to do it for the next years more than ever. No? Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me your argument is that by being profitable in this business, you can help people, and that's the right ethical thing to do. And I'm wondering, I imagine there must be many scenarios where sometimes those two are not pointing in the same direction. And how would you deal with that? Or how have you dealt with that?
Okay. As I mentioned that we start with the why, I will say that because we didn't realize 23 years ago that we want a bank or we want an IPO, or we want a holding or whatever. And I will say in this point that if purpose leads, the profits would follow. No? So this is like a different way of putting it together, because somebody said, what is a company exist to have incomes and whatever? So we didn't realize that way. We start with a different way. We say first with the why, we want to do this and then and that, and we didn't think about profits and anything at the beginning. But then the things start to grow, the things start to work, and we have to put together and realize that two of our values sometimes fight: person and profitability, profits. Sometimes when you want to respect and do a lot of things with, I'm going to give you an example of loan officers. You know? Probably you say, okay, I'm going to put the person at first, together, whatever, okay. And then they need results. So sometimes they are working 12, 13, 14 hours a day. And we say, come on, that not respond to the person, no? To the value of the person. But then we need that they do that, because if not, they don't have the profits or results. So sometimes we have to make some decisions that probably affect some efficiency or some profits, just to be congruent with persons. So this is the kind of decisions that you have in front sometimes. Sometimes you have to decide, well, the efficiency is not working. We have to increase the easy one, increase interest rate. No? Well, this is the easy one, but it's not the right one. No? Sometimes we have to do the hardest and not the easy wrong. No? And then we have to return and say, okay, come on, what we need is volume, so we have to invest in probably in new markets, in some different products and whatever. So we have to be very creative just to be sure that these two do not fight, because every day they are competing. They are competing every day. So we have to put together policies, incentives, everything to be sure that they don't go in a war, in a permanent war. For example, our performance evaluation, my evaluation, it says that I have to obtain results in a matrix, and the other side says to do it by the right way. I can obtain results, but if it is not the right way, I don't obtain the points. I have to do the results in the right way. And in the right way, we have defined ethics, values, purpose, and this is very active. We look at that. Sometimes another decision, important decision, is the profile of the people we hire. Somebody says, hey, bring bankers, no? Bring MBAs, no? Bring whatever you want. No? Okay, that's perfect. But what happened with the other side? The mystic, the values, the purpose has to be aligned with the purpose of the company. And sometimes there's a discussion about if someone can learn the other thing. The one who has mystic values and culture, probably it's easy to learn finance, bankers, or whatever. But the ones who has the other one, I don't know. I'm not sure if it is possible to have that comes from the inside. No? So this is another difficult one. This is the exactly profile we want to grow, to send to Peru, to manage to be the CEO, whatever, but doesn't live our mystic, our values, our purpose. So this is, I don't know if with these examples I have been clear. No? But, okay.
Hello. Thank you for being here today.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see if you could elaborate a little bit more on what it's like to collaborate with the government. I can imagine that in these 23 years, there have been important shifts in what the government believes is best for the people in terms of financial inclusion. And do you mostly react to that or try to shape it? How do you also try to shape the way in which established or regular banks operate in this segment?
Okay. I will, well, we have the opportunity. Alejandro is coming with me. He's the one responsible for that area. I think I'm going to give the microphone to him just to answer this because he's expert. No? So, tienes. Aquí está este.
Hello, everyone. I was not supposed to do this, but that's a very important question. Compartamos in its 23 years has been living through different stages. At the beginning, we had a very, very, very low profile. Nobody knew us. Only the industry, the microfinance industry, knew about Compartamos. But the real problem started in 2000 when we became a commercial, we have a commercial approach of the microfinance. Then the debate started with the social approach and the commercial approach. And in 2006, when we became a bank, and in 2007, with the IPO, the debate was very large. And Compartamos was in the middle of this debate about interest rates, the double bottom line. We believe that we have a triple bottom line company with, as Iván was saying, with social value, economic value, and human value. So through these stages, we have been working with different audiences. Government is one of them. Government, we weren't in the mind of the government for many years, until a few years ago, when financial inclusion started to be an issue for governments. So right now, when government take a look at Compartamos and say in Mexico, we have 2.5 million clients. We see every client every week, as Iván was saying. So there we are in the mind of the government for regulation, for looking for financial education, for giving them the client protection they need, many things. So we are very active in working with the government in a very propositive way to look for the better laws, for the better regulation to protect the clients. Because behind Compartamos, there are many other opportunities for financing in these low-income segments of the population. So if we don't make the right policies for client protection in Mexico with the right financial inclusion, there might be a large problem, as we have seen in other countries. So we are very active with the government.
I'm just curious, what are your criteria in evaluating where to go, who to serve?
Okay. We have been learning about that because at the beginning it was, we start working everywhere. Everywhere, and that generates a lot of problems. Because sometimes we go, you have to go to that community and then to this community or whatever, and everything was very, it was an enormous distance between them. The zonification of our loan officers, it was a mess. No? They have to go there, and the transportation, 2 hours. It was very complicated to just trying to, so we start trying to put together a strategy of growth. So we decide, starting by putting branch offices, where they attend 2 hours around, just to be sure that they can serve, they can go, they can transport efficiency. And we start doing that, but we figure out that we didn't have the coverage of the country. Also, we need sometimes, not right now we are working in that network of, they can pay, but usually they have to go to our regular banks to make our payments. So it was very complicated to do that because sometimes we go to the community, we make the disbursement with a check, a personal check, and they have to transportation to a commercial bank that probably is at 3 hours, and they have to pay bus, whatever, and in a bank, they don't want to receive them because they arrive in a trucks with animals, they bring the bills from the chest, wherever, and the cashiers, they don't want it there. So we have to work with a lot of kind of these cultural confrontations. No? And we start learning how to grow. We learn how to grow, how to expand rapidly, and then how to attend different communities, and how to make some routes, some zonification, and the size of the groups also is very important. Sometimes you have a very nice, but there are only 4 or 5. You need to be minimum 10. We have learned some indicators that help to be sure that you can grow as fast and efficiency. So this is very important. The delivery is one of the most important things of these methodologies.